Clearly something has to change. And it's not getting better out here, it's getting worse.
Jennifer Reddy says her husband's death could have been prevented.
And Jonathan Reddy was shot and killed earlier this year. Jennifer claims his death may have exposed a crack in the juvenile justice system, and she is not alone.
CrimeTracker 10 looked at 2 other murders and discovered a trend of teens skipping out on house arrest or cutting ankle monitors off just months before they're accused of committing even more violent crimes.
Well, this raises questions about how and if anyone was tracking these teenagers. CrimeTracker 10's Lacey Crisp sat down with the Franklin County juvenile judge to get some answers.
He was a great guy. He was the greatest. Family came before anything. He loved everyone.
Jonathan Reddy is the love of Jennifer's life. They have 2 daughters, a granddaughter, and a full life ahead of them.
I felt lost. I've never felt like this before.
But on February 3rd of this year, Jonathan was shot and killed on East Dublin Granville Road. Surveillance video appears to show the shooter walking up to the car where Jonathan was sitting, shooting and killing him. Columbus police soon arrested 17-year-old Harrison Finkley.
First, it was a shock that it was a 17-year-old. I just didn't understand. It didn't make sense at all.
A 17-year-old with a criminal background. According to Franklin County Juvenile Court records, at the time of Jonathan's murder, Finkley had been charged on October 7, 2021, as a juvenile for possession of drugs and for theft. According to Reynoldsburg police reports, he stole his dad's gun and then sold it. On December 8th of that same year, according to the Franklin County Juvenile Court records, he was placed on an ankle monitor and was allowed to be home pending his court cases. But just 4 days later, Columbus police records show Finkley's mom called police saying her son was missing and that he had cut his ankle monitor off. Fast forward 2 months, investigators say Finkley was caught on surveillance video shooting and killing Jonathan.
I don't understand how no one was looking for him.
And Finkley's case isn't unique. CrimeTracker 10 dug into the criminal records of other teens accused of murder. We looked into their criminal records within the Franklin County Juvenile Court.
One of those teens is Michael Green. According to Franklin County Juvenile Court records, Green was in and out of juvenile courts since 2017 or since he was 15. One of those cases includes an arrest for assault and threatening a school principal. Another includes a gun charge at Lyndon McKinley High School. In May of 2020, Green was allowed out on house arrest. Then on July 4th, 2020, court records accuse him of driving by Vesta Avenue in Columbus and being involved in the shooting and killing of 14-year-old India Corley. For Corley's murder, juvenile court judge Kim Brown set Green's bond at $45,000 and ordered him to wear an electronic monitoring device if he posted bail. He was bound over to adult court. Javante Williams is another one of those teens. According to Franklin County Juvenile Court records, in May of 2020, when Williams was 16, he was charged with improperly handling a firearm after he shot a gun in a car. He was placed on an ankle monitor in July 2020, then moved to the honor system on house arrest. 4 months later, police accused him of standing over Sage Martin at Westland Mall and shooting and killing him.
It's a system that isn't perfect.
We took these cases to Administrative Juvenile Court Judge George Leach with questions about the juvenile justice system in Franklin County.
It doesn't surprise me to find out that a juvenile who is tampered with or been through has reoffended.
He says at any given time, there are about 100 juveniles in Franklin County who are on one of 2 types of ankle monitors. He explains there's a point-based system on their offenses, and if they reach a certain score, they are placed on the monitoring system.
How often are they tampered with?
Well, as late, fairly frequent. There's the YouTube videos. There are other kids will tell you how to screw with them or cut them, or there's now an unscrew section.
Leach explains once an ankle monitor is tampered with, an alert is sent. Officials make contact with parents and friends to see where the kid is. If they can't find the juvenile, Judge Leach explains, their probation officer files an arrest warrant.
Does anyone actively try to find the juveniles once the ankle monitor has been cut and the warrant has been filed?
I don't think there's no active search. Well, the warrant is filed and then it sits there until the child comes into contact with either law enforcement or even with us sometimes.
Leach says unless the juvenile is a suspect in another crime, it can take months before they're found. So are there solutions?
Without the buy-in from the parents and the community, it is just my advice, it is doomed to fail.
It just blows my mind. I don't understand that.
Trying to adjust to a new life without her love. She feels she was robbed of a life, all because she thinks the system failed to protect her and her husband.
That has to change.
For CrimeTracker 10, I'm Lacey Crisp.
And you can keep track of crime happening in your area. Just go to 10tv.com/CrimeTracker10 to use our interactive crime map. And if you have a tip you want to share with 10TV, just send an email to crimetracker10@10tv.com.